Hi! So this is the video I'm going to make about the whole earlobe experience, FAQ, whatever. So I did post a little vlog on my whole earlobe adventure. So the whole process, last year, I did have the idea to have my earlobes reconstructed. I should sit a little closer. And I did contact Sampa. Sampa von Cyborg is the person who did my procedure with his partner, Anita von Cyborg. And I did contact them last year about getting it done, but I contacted them kind of late because their appointments fill up really fast. They do a United States tour and everyone wants a little bit. The closest place I could get to with them last year was New York. So I couldn't do that. And I also didn't really have the means to get there. And I also bragged about it too much before I got it done. So I didn't manage to get an appointment with them last year. So I was on top of it this year and contacted them back in November and put a deposit down through PayPal. The deposit was $450. So put the deposit down and waited until around April. And I mean, putting that much money just into the internet, into cyberspace, made me feel a little weird, but it also felt good because I could pay for half of the surgery beforehand and make all that money back. So yeah, $450 sent through PayPal to Cyborg and Co. And then, then we set the date. And I found the closest place to me that they were going to visit on their tour, and that was an Invisible Self in New Jersey. And I live in Philly, so getting to New Jersey probably took like 2 hours. It was past New York City. In the video, I actually you can see the skyline as we go by, and I'm almost like, man, we should have stopped there for dinner or something, but I hate going to the city. It's scary. Anyway, that was leading up to it. So that was leading up to it. We got to Invisible Self just by using Google Maps. And we got there. The shop owner was really cool. John was my boyfriend was really out of his element because he doesn't really have any tattoos, any piercings, but he was really supportive. And yeah, so they had a piercing room for us to be in. John really couldn't wait inside, but he did wait in the hallway. The total procedure probably took about 2 hours, but that's with a little 5-minute break and setup and bathroom break. So we got out of there. We got there at 2 and got out of there at 4. So that's pretty quick, in my opinion. One of the questions I got was, did they numb you for the procedure? And it was local, but a lot of people asked me if I was asleep, and I was not asleep. I was there, fully conscious and wishing my favorite songs were on the radio and not the Grateful Dead or something. But yeah, I was there, but Anita, his assistant, or maybe his wife, his partner, was really cool. She was lightly talking to me and assuring me, and she also had this really nice perfume on, so I kind of just closed my eyes and listened to the terrible music, and it was really quick. I mean, you could hear everything because it's in your ear, but I felt really soothed, really comforted. Even though John wasn't in the room with me and looking as far as I could out of my peripherals, I couldn't see him. It was still nice. Yeah, there wasn't any negative anything. I think that Sampa and Anita are super professional. I felt like very accepted, like they weren't judging me for getting my earlobes closed up because they were modified people, and their assistant was super modified too. But yeah, I mean, they asked me a little bit like, why are you getting it done? But even now I don't have a concrete answer. It's kind of just like, I've always had them pierced. I've never experienced them unpierced. I was born in a hospital that would pierce babies' ears on location, so I've honestly never lived with having closed ears. So, one question I got is, can you get your ears re-pierced? Will you get your ears re-pierced? Sampa told me to wait 1 year, so next week is my birthday. Maybe next year for my birthday I'll get my ears pierced, because that'll be 1 year. But I may not. I may not decide to get them pierced. I mean, I also had my second and third holes pierced too, and Sampa closed those up. So it's kind of just like fresh slate, other than my conch. But he said if I make an appointment with him next year, we can close that up too. So that's kind of cool. And he said he would close my philtrum, so I could be a fresh woman. Some of the aftercare, Anita said keep your hair away from your ears. So today I'm doing this like half updo because my hair is like pretty short, but you know, just keeping the hair away from my ears, not touching them. That's a big thing because I want to touch them. I want to touch them so bad, but can't touch them. My first night, there was a lot of blood like crusted in my hair and like a little down my neck and on my collar, but I just sat at the bottom of my shower and let the water come and like trickle down, so not really abrasive, not full contact, but just like a little bit of trickling down, to kind of clear up any of that blood or whatever without having too much contact. And another part of my aftercare is Dr. Bronner's soap. If you have any sort of experience with body modification, I feel like you might know Dr. Bronner's. This is an all-natural soap, and after the third or fourth day, I started to completely wash my hands with this, and then take a little soap in my hand and just like glide down my ear once or twice, like really not at all, on both sides, and then still sit at the bottom of the shower. This Dr. Bronner soap is really great I use it for healing my tattoos, washing out my piercings. It gets blood out of clothes, which could be helpful, like for me, like washing my clothes that get the blood on them, and any other procedure you might be getting, but I love this stuff. So and the other day, I stupidly got a little makeup on my ear, and I used the Dr. Bronner's to wash that off too. And there hasn't really been any irritation. Anita said don't get any hair soap on your ear. So today I washed my hair for the video, but I haven't really been washing my hair, but that's fine with me. And yeah, that's it for aftercare. Said leave it alone, and 10 days after procedure the stitches will feel loose, and then it will be time to take them out. Today is 6 days after procedure, and you can see that there's still bruising on this ear, and this ear is kind of chill. Another question I got was, how is sleeping? For sleeping, I have done this little technique that I did with my conches too, where you put a clean t-shirt over your pillowcase, and each night you change it or turn it inside out and flip it, just so my pillowcase is completely clean And since it's a t-shirt, if there's any like blood or whatever on it, I won't be completely heartbroken. And yeah, I'm just trying to sleep like just flat, but I do end up on my sides, which I think is why a lot of the bruising on this ear is from. But it wasn't completely painful to sleep because I think that like maybe my pillow rests right here and it doesn't really hit the part of my ear. But sleeping on my back sucks. So I do kind of just like angle the pillow right here and try to sleep. But there wasn't a lot of blood on my pillow the first night, just like a little bit. And the second night, no problem, no more bleeding at all. This morning I did wash like a little bit of blood off of that ear, but that was like no problem. After the third or fourth day, and it really has gone away, I did experience a lot of bruising underneath the neck. That girl just got hit in the face with that bag. Can you notice it on the camera? Should I turn the other side? And I didn't notice the bruising at first. Actually, a couple girls from my school noticed it. So I had John film a clip really quickly. But the bruising didn't hurt. It was more of like a visual thing. Like, ew, she got her ears cut. Ooh, look at them. But I didn't even feel or notice it. I did have like stiffness in my neck. Like the very first day. But almost kind of like a sore throat, like achy tonsil kind of feel. But I didn't have a problem eating, so it didn't really bother me. I did feel a little dizzy the next day though. I really should have requested off of work. I did have to sit down a couple times. So one of the questions I got was, what would you recommend to someone who is getting their ears reconstructed? I would say, give yourself time to heal. Give yourself time to be all alone and out of the public. I think, you know, it is an open wound. Not open, but you know what I mean? I think just staying off the subway would have been a better plan for me, and maybe not going to work and serving people. My boss is cool with it, and it's not like they were oozing blood. No one really noticed or talked to me about it, but I would recommend chilling out. Maybe not going to school or work for 2 days at the most. But someone asked what size were your ears before they were before they were reconstructed, and they were at 7/8. And then they were scalpeled at 7/8, which took them to an inch, and then like they just kept stretching, so I completely took the jewelry out. Another thing that I think is I didn't wear jewelry for a year and a half, so for me it's just cool that nothing is going on. Nobody's eyes are overlooking it, like that's done. And one thing I experienced when I left was, for the first time in so long, wind resistance blowing against my ear, because I guess my ear has been like so aerodynamic for years and years with the wind just blowing through it, that the wind resistance like going against my ears was really disgusting. I hated it. That was really gross. Someone asked what camera I'm filming with. Most of the footage was shot with my iPhone 5 camera. A couple of the clips that John took, he has an iPhone 4. And then this is being filmed right now on a Samsung NX Mini. But most of the video wasn't shot like that. One person asked me how much it was, and it came to about $1,000 total, probably with like gas and stuff included and tip, and I also did bring them coffee. But I think that that's worth it. I think that it is a major procedure and you want it done right and you want the right people to do it, I would have Sampa, I would trust him with any other procedure that I would get in the future, and I would pay, I think I would pay that. I think that that's a fair price. I think that that's not even fair, I think that's the price it should be. And I'm completely fine with it costing $1,000 or whatever. And somebody asked me, they said that their earlobes were not stretched but ripped. I guess the earring was ripped out, and they suggested what they should do. I think that your local hospital is able to fix little things like that, and you wouldn't need to seek out a body modification specialist. Even, or if you were getting your earlobes reconstructed at a very small size, like, I think I was a little bit of a special case because my ears were previously scalpeled and stretched, and I think that they needed special attention from someone who recognized such procedure. And a girl in my class said that her mom went to just Philadelphia hospital just from wearing heavy earrings in her standard ear for so many years, and it was just like 2 stitches and she went to work. So a couple stitches in a very small piercing, I assume, would be very less invasive and could be done at a local hospital. And I guess my final word of advice, because I didn't get a lot of questions, but I guess my final word of advice would be bring somebody with you. And I know that that isn't completely available to everybody. When I got my scarification done, when I had my earlobe scalpeled, I went by myself, and I thought that I was super tough and in charge of the world. But as this time around, I was really scared, and it's not something I was used to experiencing, because like scalpeling, I didn't even tell anybody. I just went, like, and came home and closed my door. My roommates were like, something weird happened today. But this, like, I definitely needed like some moral support, because it was a big change for me, and it even is a big change now. And even though John doesn't have body modifications, I do feel like he's healing with me just because he was there. And I didn't know he didn't have the stomach for it, but he said at one point, he was like, just because you're watching someone you care about on an operating table. But yeah, it helped to have somebody there with me, and it helped to have like a big meal afterwards. Like, we ate like kings. It was awesome. But yeah, so today is 5 days healed, 6 days healed, and I'd love to keep everybody updated. If there's a question or a topic I didn't cover, I'd love to. If you want to leave me some questions or talk to me on Tumblr, my username is Qcknd, and on Instagram I am Quiet Cool Kid, and I've been posting a ton of pictures on there. My normal friends are probably like, what the fuck is all this? But yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, let me know what you'd like to see, and stitches come out in a couple days. I'll keep everyone posted. Thanks for watching, thanks for the support, and talk to you soon. Bye.